All right, friends, here we go. Okay, so we are going to continue our multi-digit multiplication from yesterday, but today I'm going to change it up and make it just a little bit trickier. By now, instead of doing 2-digit by 3-digit, we are going to take it even further and do 3-digit by 3-digit and a little bit of 4-digit by 3-digit. It's all going to be essentially the same thing. We just add a new layer to it this time. So, again, we're going to be writing a little teeny sometimes, but you can just make it work. As we're going through this, if I'm going too fast for you and you need a second, please pause this video and rewind or start over from the beginning or whatever, as long as you need to get through this. Okay, so we're going to start with 524 times 136. And just like yesterday, before we even do any multiplying, the first thing that we need to do is estimate. So right up here, we're going to write estimate. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say that 524 is about 500 times 136 is about 100. Whoop. And I know I multiply my digits first, so 5 times 1 I know is just 5, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, so I'm going to add those guys on there, bringing my estimate to 50,000. All right, so first thing we're going to do here is our area model. So remember, we're going to start with 524, and we're going to break it apart into bite-sized pieces or expanded form across the top of this area model. So starting up here at the top, I'm going to start with 500. My next box is 20, and my last box is 4. So then coming down the side here, I'm using 136. But remember yesterday when we were talking about in standard algorithm, when we are multiplying, the very first thing I'm multiplying 534 by is the 6, then the 3, and then the 1. So I'm going to start with the 6 on top because that's the number I'm multiplying first. So I have a 6 on top, then we multiply by 30, and then last I know I'm multiplying by 100. So remember, these are just expanded forms of these numbers here. So I've got these random marks everywhere. Okay, so now we can start doing our partial product multiplication. So in this box right here, I know that my multiplication problem is 6 times 500. I know that 6 times 5 is 30, and then I add 2 more zeros, so I get 3,000. Continuing on with the 6 here, I know that this box here is 6 times 20, which I know is 120. And this last box is 6 times 4, which we know is 24. So then on our second row, I have 30 times 500. I know that 3 times 5 is 15. And then I add 3 zeros, which brings 15,000. In the next box, I have 30 times 20. I know 3 times 2 is 6, and I add 2 more zeros. And in my last box, I have 30 times 4, which I know 3 times 4 is 12, and with the zeros, there's 120. And then in this last one, I have 100 times 500. I know that 1 times 5 is 5, and I add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, bringing me to 50,000. And here we have 100 times 20. 1 times 2 is 2, and add 3 more zeros. And lastly, I know that I have 100 times 4, which I know is 400. So now that we've done all this math in our boxes here, and just as a reminder, you don't always have to write the actual multiplication problem in this box. You can just write that that product right there, but we're just doing this for our notes so that we can, when we look back at them, we remember where those numbers came from. Because sometimes we'll look back at them and we're like, okay, so there's 120 there, but I have no clue how I got it. This just reminds us how we got there. So now we have to add all of these numbers up to get our partial products. Please, please, please do not make one really big long addition problem. That leaves way too much room for you to make a simple mistake. So if you need to line them up on the side and add these three each at a time, and then add those three numbers together, please do that, but don't try and add all 369 of them at the same time. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I know my first partial product up here is 3,144. And my second partial product here is 15,720. And I know my third partial product down here is 52,400. So now these are my three partial products because I'm multiplying 3 digits by 3 digits, which is why I have three partial products. And now we add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. I know that 7 and 1 is 8, plus 4 more is 12. Carry that 1. I know 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, plus 2 more is 11. Carry my 1. And 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So my product is going to be 71,264. So now we're going to look at this standard algorithm. So, okay, so I know that we're only multiplying by the 6. Pretend this 13 isn't even here. The very first thing we're going to do is 524 times 6. So I know 4 times 6 is 24. Carry my 2. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. Carry my 1. And 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 more is 31. So 3,144 is my first partial product, which I see they're matching right here. So now I'm going to move on to my second row. I've already used my 6, so now I'm going to multiply it by 3. But this isn't just 3, it's 30. So there's 1 0 in 30, so I'm going to add my placeholder right here. I'm going to cross these numbers out so I know that I've already used them. All right, so 3 times 4 is 12. Carry your 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And 3 times 5 is 15. So there's our second partial product. You see how they're also matching. Now here's where the new stuff comes in. Now I'm starting another row. So now I've already multiplied by the 6, and I've already multiplied by the 3. So now I have to multiply 524 by this 1. But it's not just 1, it's 100. And how many zeros are in 100? There are 2. So now down here, I have to have 2 placeholders because when you multiply a number by 100, you get 2 extra zeros on the end. So think of the pattern as this. The very first partial product has no 0. The next one has 1 0. The next one has 2 zeros. And if I were to keep going, the next one would have 3, and then 4, and X, Y, Z. So each time you go down in a new partial product, you add a 0. So here we go. So now I have 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 5 is 5. Make sure that you're being really careful that your numbers aren't getting all wacky and out of order so you can clearly see which numbers you have to add. They have to be lined up correctly or you're going to end up with a crazy town answer. So now we add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Plus 2 is 12. Wait, not 12. Rewind. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. My bad. Carry one more. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So there we have our product of 71,264. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do our second one now. All right, so we have 4,509 times 326. So we're going to start with our estimate as usual. All right, so 4,509, I'm going to estimate as about, you could either say 5,000, but I'm going to make it 4,500. Either one's fine. Times 326. I'm going to estimate that is about 300. And my answer is 1,360,000, running out of room, thousand. So there's my estimate. So we're going to have some really big numbers here. All right, here we go. So we're going to start with expanded form of 4,509. One digit at a time. But why do you think, well, I know y'all can't answer me, obviously, but take a second and think, if there are 4 digits in 4,509, why are there only 3 blocks on my area model? It's because this 0 right here, I don't have any 10s, so I don't have to do a whole row where it's just going to be 0, because I know anything times 0 is just 0. So we went ahead and left that one off. So we're just going to start with our 4. It's 4,000 plus 500 and 9. So then going down the side, remember the first thing that we multiply by when I'm doing my, wait, let me set mine up, 4,509 times 326. Okay. I know that I'm multiplying 4,509 by 6 first, then 2, then 3. So I start with my 6 on top. Then this is where you skip, 6 on top. Then this is where you have your 20. And then on the bottom, you have 300. All right, you can write all of the multiplication problems in here, but I already know I'm not going to have enough space for some of them, so I'm going to do my best. All right, so in this first box, I'm doing 6 times 4,000. I know 6 times 4 is 24, and I add 3 zeros. I know 6 times 5 is 30. Now I add 2 more zeros. And I know 6 times 9 is 54. Now on to our second row here. 20 times 4,000. 2 times 4 is 8. And I add 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So it's 80,000. And down here I have 20 times 500. So I know 5 times 2 is 10. Now I need to add 3 more zeros. And last over here I have 20 times 9, which I know is 180. All right, now we have 300 times 400. I know 3 times 4 is 12. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So I know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1,200,000. And right here I have 300 times 500. 3 times 5 is 15. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 150,000. And then down here I have 300 times 9. I know that 9 times 3 is 27. And I have 2 more zeros. So I have 2,700. So now we have to add all these guys up to get our partial products. I know it seems like I'm flying through this really quickly, but it's because I've already done all this hard math. So if you need to pause and work this out on your own to make sure you're getting the same things that I am, that is totally fine. So on top, I'm adding 24,000 plus 3,000 plus 54. That is going to give me 54. Then I'm adding 80,000 plus 10,000, which I know is 90,000, plus 180 gives me 90,180. And then last I have 1,200,000 plus 150,000, which brings me to 1,350,000 plus 2,700, which brings me to 1,352,700. Again, if you need to write that out and add it up for For your own sanity, please do that. All right, so again, make sure you've lined it up by your place value places before you start adding all the things together incorrectly. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 5 is 13. So I'm going to put my 3 down here. Carry my 1. And 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 1 more is 2, plus 7 is 9. Then I've got 7 plus 2 is 9. And 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 5 is 16. Carry my 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So my product is going to be 1,469,934. Woo! I told you these numbers were going to get big. So that's why it's extremely, extremely important to work really slowly and be very precise, because you make one mistake in here and this whole thing's ruined. So now let's figure out our standard algorithm here. So here we go. 9 times 6. Oh, remember, we're just doing 4,509 times 6. Pretend that 32 doesn't even exist. So 9 times 6 is 54. So I'm going to put my 4 down here, carry my 5. 0 times 6 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Put my 0 down here, carry my 3. And 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 more is 27. So I'm going to check my partial products are lining up, so I'm good to go. I'm starting my second row with a placeholder, because this isn't just 2, this is 20. So ignore this 6, pretend like it's not even there. 2 times 9 is 18, carry my 1. 0 times 2 is 0, plus 1 more is 2. 5 times 2 is 10, carry my 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. Except for that's funny, because that is not correct. So this 2 is not right. So no, see, I've caught a mistake looking at my partial products here. So let me erase this guy. Well, let's just erase the whole thing then here, Miss Boyd. All right, cool. All right. Sorry, let's check that to make sure. Let's see here. Okay, start with placeholder, blah, blah, blah. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry my 1. Oh, 0 times 2 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Sorry. I don't know how I got a 2 there. And then I know that this is a 0 and this is a 9. Okay. Might be. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Okay. So now I'm starting my third partial product, and this isn't just 3, it's 300. So I need 2 place value holders right there. And here we go. Now, pretend this 26 is not even there. We're just multiplying by 3. So 3 times 9 is 27. Carry my 2. Gets kind of hard to see this right now. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 more is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. And 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. And now we add. So I have 4. 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 7 is 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Plus 5 more is 16. Carry my 1. And I've got 4 and 1. So 1,469,934. Woo! Okay. And now we are done with this page. So just like yesterday, you fold it in half where you can still see the title. Make sure you fold it where you can still see the title. And you're going to glue that guy down on your next page. I can't remember what it is right now, but you should know in your ISN. And if you don't know, look at your neighbors. So I'm only going to do the first one with you on the second page, and then I'm going to put a picture. I'm going to put the picture of it on my website so you can copy it, just because I feel like I'm talking your ear off right now, and honestly, I feel like half of y'all are probably already done with it. So, okay, here we go. So we are on our second page. The only difference here that I want y'all to see is that now that these numbers have zeros in them, you don't always have to include those, you don't always have to include the line of partial products when you have those zeros in there. So I'll show you how to set up your area model, then I'm going to do your standard algorithm with you, and then you can copy the rest from my website. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to set up our, well, first of all, actually, rewind. First, we're going to estimate. So here we go. All right, 7,481 is about 7,000. And 290 is about 300. So I know that 7 times 3 is 21. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my estimate is 2,100,000. So here we go. Let's set up our place value, our area model. So start by breaking 7,481 into those bite-sized pieces across the top. So the first one is going to be 7,000. And then we've got 480. And the last one is 1. So then coming down this side here, remember starting at the ones place. Do I have any ones right here? No, I don't. So I don't have to include it because anything times 0 is just 0. So I'm going to move on to the 9, but it's not just 9, it's 9D. And then the last one would be 200. So then y'all can multiply all that good stuff out, but I'm going to check y'all, sorry, I just found a Pokemon sticker on my carpet, and it really threw me off. Okay, standard algorithm, here we go. All right, so we've got 7,481 times 290. Okay, here's where I wanted to show you guys this one, because a lot of you will just put a whole row of zeros right here, and that's fine. You are absolutely, totally okay to put a whole row of zeros there. But I just want you to know that you don't necessarily have to. As long as you know that if you skip this partial product here and you start your next one, you still have to start with a placeholder because we're not just multiplying by 9, we're multiplying by 9D. So I have to start this row with a placeholder. So if you skip this row of zeros because there's a 0 right here, don't forget your placeholder. And now we multiply just like normal. 9 times 1 is 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Carry my 7. 4 times 9 is 36. Plus 7 more is 42. Wait, hold on. Having a brain fart. Rewind, Miss Boyd. Ugh. Wait. 4 times 9. Oh, no. 8 times 9. There we go. Is 72. Carry my 7. 4 times 9 is 36. Oh, plus 7 is 43. Okay, here we go. So then carry my 4. So then we've got 7 times 9, which I know is 63, plus 4 is 67. So there's my partial product there. 673,290. So now I'm starting my last row of partial product here, and I know that I'm multiplying by 2, but it's not just 2, it's 200. So I've got to have 2 place value places there. And now we multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry my 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And 7 times 2 is 14. And there's my last partial product there. I've got 1,496,200. So now we have to add all these guys up. So I have 0, 9, 4, 9, 16, 11, and 2. So my final product is 2,169,490. All right, so I'm just going to put the pictures of these notes up on my website for you to copy the rest of it. So I'm done talking your ear off now. After you finish copying down your notes, you are going to do in your workbook, I'm going to write it on here so you know, you are going to do a workbook page 161 and 166 on your own. Please use your ISN if you get stuck. You may ask questions if you need to ask questions or if you get stuck. I will check over these with you on Monday when we come back. So if you have nothing done because you sat here and stared off into space, it's not going to be a good day for you. So please make sure that you're getting things done today. You're choosing good decisions for yourself. And that's all that I have for you. I hope you'll have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend, and know that I love you guys a lot, and I will see you on Monday. Okay, bye.